This is the We Are ND Nation podcast. I am Evan J. Thomas, and with me always is Dennis Stover. And on today's show, we'll be recapping Notre Dame's brutal 33-20 loss at Louisville the other night. We'll name our player of the game. A huge game this week at home against number 10 USC. And we'll name that former Notre Dame player with Dennis. And our special guest later in the show in segment 2 is Hunter Dworsky of the College Football Dawgs and the host of the College Football Dawgs Game Day Show on Saturday morning. So he'll be joining us in the second segment as we talk the ND and USC game this weekend. So Dennis.
Hello.
All right. Let's get into this whatever the fuck that was Saturday night as Notre Dame loses.
It was an incompetent, unmotivated, uncoached, awful performance. I mean,
that's the show. Have a great day, everybody.
Yep. All right, everyone. Thank you.
Till next week.
It was they were outcoached, outplayed. I mean, it was
outfanned.
Yeah, outfanned is right.
I mean, there was
Louisville won. They beat us. The score reflected they won. I'm not making excuses but to sit there and say that they're an average team. We had no business losing that game, but we did because we weren't prepared and we were incompetent.
So you've been saying all year, Gerard.
Yeah, man.
Offensive coordinator.
I wish I could pull up the numbers from the last 3 games, because when we were playing the high school portion of our schedule, we were putting up 40 plus points a game. But now when we play actual college teams, all of a sudden this guy can't fucking hand off the ball. And then the thing that Marcus Freeman in the press conference essentially said, I think he asked him, why isn't Sam audibling out of this? They're putting 10 guys in the box on 3rd and 1, and you don't let him audible out of it? Sam Hartman, he's like an 8-year fucking quarterback. So I don't get this.
There were some plays in that game. Let's start with the 4th and 11 from our 22.
Dude, there's still so much time left.
There's 9.5, almost 10 minutes left in that game. You're down, what, 11? Not even 11?
Yeah, it was 10. Yeah, it was a touchdown and a field goal.
Yeah,
I don't even think it was 2 touchdowns.
Down 11, and you're calling this cockamamie bullshit play
on 4th and 11.
And then they did it again later with 4th and 7.
That's Coach Freeman he is getting out coached right now. He's second guessing himself. He doesn't seem confident. I read an article from the week. I think it was on 1 Foot Down, and one of the guys was there. And I think I said this, he said that the team looked unmotivated in the warm-ups.
Really?
He's like, I got a bad feeling. And sure enough, it translated on the field, because they were absolute doo-doo. I mean, to see Joe Alt on his ass.
He got leveled twice. Okay, the second time he did get kind of clipped by his own guy getting hit. But that first one where he
sat straight down.
Pushed on his ass, and he just fell straight back. He looked like a turtle falling down.
I know I look like such a fool now, because last week I was like, I will say we definitely have one of the best lines in the country. And
well, we still do, apparently.
Of course we do. I mean, but they can't get any push. They can't. I mean, you have all these running backs. Jeremiah Love was averaging 7 yards a carry, yet he only had 5 carries. Gerard Parker, pull your head out of your motherfucking ass.
So,
matter of fact, get him off the goddamn. Marcus Freeman shouldn't be on the hot seat. I don't want to see him go, because I really think I'd like to really think he can get it together. But Gerard Parker is ass, straight up smelly fucking ass, and he needs to go.
Swamp ass. So you just mentioned, should Marcus Freeman be on the hot seat? I've seen this all over the place in the past.
No, not yet. No.
I'm going to say no as well. But here's this.
If they shit the bed and lose every game the rest of the season, then absolutely.
I was just going to say, if they lose, obviously you got USC coming up. You also have the Clemson game at Clemson. What if they lose 3 of the next 5 games? Should he be on the hot seat?
No, man. No.
Okay.
Because, it's so easy to do that now, but I don't know. Because then what? Then we lose
Exactly.
recruits,
Then
and then
what?
who do we get? Who's the answer? Like,
So this was brought up by a friend of mine. You kind of know who he is too, Julian Rosales. He mentioned
yep.
it. He goes,
Yo, Julian.
why can't Notre Dame hire a top flight experienced head coach? Well, who out there could you possibly get? I mean, Fickle's name's always been brought up. I've seen Bob Stoops.
I wouldn't have mind Luke Fickle, but he's at a big program. I mean, he needs another year and stuff. So, but I mean, he did some things at Indiana, or I mean, at Cincinnati. So
Cincinnati, but I
wouldn't
hear
have.
Bob Stoops. I hear.
Why do people love Bob Stoops so much?
I don't understand.
I don't understand Bob Stoops. He won one national title in like 2001, and he didn't do anything ever since. Yeah, okay, he won a bunch of Big 12 titles. Cool. I don't think how many BCS games did he play? Championships did he play in? Right. It's just
I couldn't tell you.
I don't know why why? Because he won the fucking whatever stupid USFL championship or whatever the fucking dumbass arena league or whatever they have. XFL. Yeah. Cool. Bob Stoops. Yeah. No, not Bob fucking Stoops.
Why do these old names keep popping up? Why is it wrong to have a younger, smarter, hungrier?
Exactly, because that's what these kids want. Hell, even in the NFL, look at the coach for Miami. That guy looks like he should still be parking cars at the valet. He looks like he's 21.
He should be as he was a ball boy with the Broncos.
But look at him now.
Exactly.
I think these young, and I mean, obviously you see how infectious Freeman is in his youth, how excited he was. And I mean, it's just shame. Why can't we had, and people are going to hate me, but we had a top flight coach, but he left for LSU.
Yep.
And
keep him.
I would like to see what would have happened if we still had Freeman and defensive coordinator and Brian Kelly still as the coach. I mean, maybe this year we're 7-0 and we fucking wax.
You know what that would mean though, if that were to be there. That means Tommy Rees would still be
not necessarily. Nick Saban calls, you go, man.
That's true. So since obviously the game 33-20 loss, did you have a player of the game? I think I put mine in the damn rundown, but I know who
the turf.
or Louisville defense.
No, you know who I'll give the punter my player of the game.
Well, wait,
there is no player of the game.
Wait,
because they shit.
Hit like a 54 and a 53-yard field goal.
54 and 53, yeah. If I have to hear how far you can kick the ball again, great. You can kick it to the fucking moon, but make a field goal, guy. Like, cool.
You can kick it over the mountain.
Right.
Rico of kickers.
It's so frustrating. You have to excuse my
no, it's okay. This is why we're here. This is a coping mechanism. It's our way to kind of.
I just don't get it. It's just last year I would understand. This year it doesn't make any sense, man.
And especially now that I'm getting.
It's like when Jalen Smith was on ND, should have been lights out, and yet Van Gorder coached this guy like a idiot, and that's what Parker's doing with. Maybe they should let Pep, the quarterback coach. Maybe he should be the offensive coordinator because he's got more experience than Gerard Parker. Put Gerard Parker back on tight ends, or maybe he should just be a sled dummy because he is fucking garbage, man. I've never been so mad at a coordinator ever in my years of. This guy is ass.
Tommy Rees.
Yeah, but he makes Tommy Rees look like Bill Belichick.
Oh, don't go that far.
Well, okay. I can't say that now anyway, because sorry, Kevin, but the Patriots are terrible.
I'm going to throw some stats out there from the other day. You have Hartman was 22 of 38 for 254, 2 touchdowns, 3
picks,
horrible interceptions, and the first 3 of the season. He was 0 for before. He had none before that.
Yeah.
Audric Estime, 10 carries, 20 yards. I mean,
Jeremiah Love is averaging 7 yards.
Jeremiah Love, the last 2 games, each game has had 5 carries, has been averaging over 7 yards per carry in both those games. Like you just said, why is he not getting more carries? And why do they keep doing this one run with Estime every time right off the center, off tackle?
I don't know. And
I don't understand.
Oh, here's what we haven't talked about. This is some bad coaching, man. Why in game 7 do you decide to rotate linemen in because you're not feeling? Did you hear this?
No, what?
Oh, that's why the line they were rotating guards in and the center.
Why?
I don't know. Ask coach.
I wish I could.
I wish I could too, because I'm sick of these these questions. I wish you'd check out this guy on YouTube. He's pretty funny. I give a shout out to him and stuff. It's his name, John Kennedy. It's Always Irish.
Okay.
You check out his show sometimes. I think I sent you a clip of him. He's hilarious. He hit it. I would like to have him on the show. We should get him on or something.
Hey, why not? I should definitely try.
Or do it. Yeah, because he gets about as hype as I do.
This is true.
It's pretty good. And he's right. It's just, again.
So like we just said, Notre Dame lost. Dog ass game.
Lost.
I'm just gonna throw out, we basically lost for many reasons, but Louisville's running back, Jawar Jordan, 21 carries, 143 yards, and 2 touchdowns. A 43-yard run that basically just blew Notre Dame's doors off of them.
Yep.
That was it. So that was the game right there.
I mean, the defense played well, but the offense isn't helping them when they're going 3 and out, punting, not moving the ball, and they've got to get out on the field. That's about the only good thing Freeman said in this press conference, it's like, and you hear Parker like, oh, it's the responsibility falls on me. Well, no fucking shit, man. Like, I know the players have to execute and make plays, but you're not putting them in a position to make a play. How is Hartman not audibling anytime he wants to? It's just like, here you go, dude.
Yeah, I don't understand.
I don't.
So then, what was it, a 4th down play where they did that like jet sweep or whatever?
Oh, yeah.
The left,
I don't know.
Where
they get too cute. They just
it got ripped up in the backfield, and it was just like,
I just don't know.
Doing? All right, I'm kind of done with this game.
It's over. I mean, it was let's, and this Jake Plummer beat him at Purdue.
Plummer had average.
No, I'm saying and then he had 145 yards. It's nothing. It's
not like I said. It's shit. But he had the one guy, Jamari Thrash, 8 catches, 71 yards. He threw to the same guy every time. That's it. Yeah. I mean, he had
Maybe dropped a couple interceptions. They need to get on the jugs machine and practice tackling. That's my critique for the defense, because they could have had 5 interceptions.
So I'm just glad I didn't put this week's Name That Former ND Player in the rundown, because I'm going to go over it right now before we go on break. You ready?
Sure.
All right. So this week's former ND player is a linebacker.
Oof.
So a linebacker who played from 2010 to 2013. He had 239 total tackles, 0 interceptions, 1 forced fumble, and 1 fumble recovery. Here are your 4 options. Justin Utupo. If I said that name
Justin
right.
Who?
Utupo.
Okay.
Dan Fox, Manti Te'o, Carlo Calabrese. So those are your 4.
Nice.
So again, Justin, is it? Yeah, it's Utupo. UTUPO.
Yeah.
Utupo, Dan Fox, Manti Te'o, Carlo Calabrese. So those are your 4. Again, 2010 to 2013. So we're going to take a quick break. We're going to be back. We're going to reveal who it is. And then we're going to have our guest, Hunter Dworsky of College Football Dawgs, on the show, pre-recorded already. So he's already been on. It's just, this is how we're doing it. So we'll be right back. Got Dennis Stover, Evan J. Thomas, the We Are ND Nation podcast, and we'll be right back. All right, Evan J. Thomas back here. I'm with Dennis Stover. This is the We Are ND Nation podcast. You can find us all over. We are on YouTube, Spotify, Facebook, all that fun shit. So before the break, we had Name That Former Notre Dame Player, and I gave Dennis some stats of who it is. And it is a linebacker who played from 2010 to 2013. He had 239 total tackles, 0 interceptions, 1 forced fumble, and 1 fumble recovery. Your 4 options were Justin Utupo, Dan Fox, Manti Te'o, and Carlo Calabrese. Dennis, name it.
D, Carlo Calabrese. Woo!
Look at you, money back.
Yeah. I knew it wasn't Manti.
Yeah.
And then
Manti had more than one interception.
Dan Fox had interceptions his senior year.
And so I basically just grabbed.
And Utupo didn't play very much.
Yeah. So I was trying to grab players from that year who played.
Nice, man. They all played on the same teams.
All played on the same team.
Yeah.
Well, there it is. That is our this week. Name that former ND player. And right now we're going to bring in our guest, the one and only Hunter Dworsky of the College Football Dawgs. So here comes my intro right now. So today's guest, this is a first for us here on We Are ND Nation podcast. We have a rival journalist. He hosts a College Football Dawgs game day show on Saturday mornings, which I am a contributor of, so I appreciate that being on there. He's the president and founder of College Football Dawgs and a journalist covering the University of Spoiled Children. So I guess we could welcome to the show if we really want to welcome to the show. Thank you.
Of course we do.
Hunter Dworsky. What's up, man?
Hunter.
Good. How are you? How are you guys? Are you guys excited
man.
for this week? This is a huge week ahead. I
was excited.
You know what? Listen, I was really disappointed in Notre Dame fans being so upset about. I mean, look, you guys got 2 losses, but you're only a second away from being, only having 1 loss this year and potentially going to a playoff. So I don't think people should be completely down on Notre Dame this year. I think they have a good football team, and unfortunately, the brutal schedule that you guys play. You play three night games against ranked teams. So
Yeah,
you really can't use that as an excuse.
4: Ohio State, Duke, Louisville, and now SC.
And SC now, yeah.
So
fucking sucks.
Looking up into this game, obviously, what to expect? USC is ranked number 10, undefeated, 6-0, coming at Notre Dame this Saturday night, like Dennis and you guys just said. So the weather is supposed to be kind of bad. It's supposed to be raining.
Yes.
Notre Dame is actually a 3-point favorite.
Yeah, pick'em game. Yeah.
This is
I still don't know why. I guess.
Dennis, what are you seeing in this game? Obviously, now with possible potential weather to kind of mess things up.
Who, me?
Dennis, yes.
Oh, sorry. I am. Well, now that could slow down Caleb Williams, but it's really hard to slow that guy down. Like, I still have visions of him running around last year on us in the Coliseum. And he came back. I mean, who's their superstar freshman? Zachariah Branch. Yeah.
I wanted to bring on. I have some news for you. So I talked to 2 different people. So I was told earlier this week at the game that Lincoln's going to play him for the Notre Dame game. He was 50-50 on practice yesterday. He was dressed, and so he's looking to make a comeback this weekend. It's huge to have him back. USC special teams field position was really bad the last 2 games because he was in the beautiful part about him, he's very much like Reggie Bush. He gets you in that really good field position, puts less pressure on the offense. So he'll be making a return back. Damani Jackson, who is our starting cornerback, he's making a return this week as well. He's it was one of the reasons why we got beat on a lot of plays is because we didn't have our starting one of our top cornerbacks in the game. And then Eric Gentry, who's our another starting linebacker, is going to go from 50% to 80% on reps during the game. So there are people coming back for this game this week. But the rain is definitely a factor. I would tell you at practice yesterday, they were filling up. They emptied out. You ever see those weed killer big bottles?
Yeah, they're spraying. You can spray the team down with water.
They were spraying. So when the ball would go up in the air, they were spraying the water in the players' eyes. When they were doing punt. Yeah, so they're doing some stuff this week. And
you guys gonna get a fake snow machine then when you guys travel in November to the Big Ten?
That would be cool. I know some of the coaches
actually suited up.
Some of our coach, Dante Williams, you guys remember, he was the interim coach for USC when they fired Clay Helton. He actually dressed up in pads and actually played out in the field. I don't know if that's
right?
legal. Yeah, I don't even know if that's legal. So yeah.
I like that.
So then is that looking at this game, we obviously have a reigning Heisman Trophy winner, junior Caleb Williams. He has 1,822 yards, 22 touchdowns, 1 interception.
1 pick.
Yeah.
21.7%. He's even better as of right now than he was last year. But going up against Notre Dame's apparent vaunted DBs, I'm going to go with Hunter on this. What do you see the matchup between Williams and Notre Dame's defense? How do you see that wrapping up?
Well, at the end of the day, guys, it's very similar to Ohio State. So Ohio State had like 2 good wide receivers. The issue with, I guess, Notre Dame, by the way, has a really good secondary. I mean, they did a great job. But when the pressure
but for some reason Louisville decided they could.
Louisville,
they can't tackle. So
Louisville and Ohio State
passes, and you'll just run right by us because we can't fucking tackle. So
the issue I was watching is the Ohio State game. They were able to move the ball down the field fairly quickly on those cornerbacks. And these USC wide receivers, this is a different type of offense that Notre Dame hasn't faced before. So that's more of a matchup. But as what I think that USC needs to do, I think the matchup was good. I think that it's going to be very interesting because USC has lots of depth in their wide receiver. I mean, it's incredible. A lot of people like to say that Ohio State has the best wide receivers in the country, but USC is more well-rounded in that aspect there. But I don't think the passing is always going to be a factor in this game because of Caleb Williams. But one thing I noticed that Lincoln Riley hasn't done the last couple of weeks is run the ball. And that's going to be really, really big, especially with the rain. Marshawn Lloyd transfer from South Carolina. He was one of the top SEC running backs last year. He's been playing really, really well. And he's a hard runner. He's a lot like your running back. Not as big.
Which one? We got a couple.
You got Aldrich. Yeah. He's very similar. Big guy that can run the ball hard.
You said he transferred from South Carolina. I wonder if he was in the bowl game then when we played them last year.
He was. I believe I think he was hurt.
Okay.
But he was the starting running back for South Carolina and one of the top in the SEC. That's going to be a really big key in the game is if USC can run the ball, that's going to be an issue for Notre Dame. Now, I think our offensive line is we're not the best offensive line in the country, but we're up there. It's protecting Caleb Williams. A lot of people keep saying that, well, Caleb Williams was sacked 3 times in the game. If you guys also need to understand that, watch the film. Caleb holds the ball for like 20 or 30 seconds without being touched. So and that's the problem that we've been having is Caleb is so hyper focused on winning the Heisman again. And I can tell you that from inside sources that I know that are really close to Caleb. Matter of fact, I just saw one of Caleb's friends on my way up here. He's very focused on trying to get that again. And what I really wish that USC would do, especially in this game, is instead of trying to throw the ball 30, 40, 50 yards down the field every play, like they did against Colorado, which ended up in a interception, they just, get the first down, check down to your receiver and do that. Because against Notre Dame, the issue is going to be they're going to need to score every possession they have. I know you guys think that Notre Dame's on a down end right now, but USC's defense has had really
your defense is pretty awful. He needs to unload that. What is it, Gresh or whatever his name is, Gresh or something?
Yeah, if he
followed him from Oklahoma.
Yeah, if he loses this game, I think he's going to get fired at the end of the game.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think this is it. I think this is it. Look, USC is going to be coming into this game trying to prove a point, right? They've been bashed by the AP the last couple of weeks.
Well, yeah, they're the only team that wins and they go down, not up.
They go down. They go down. Now, I will tell you this, guys. Lincoln Riley's teams, even at Oklahoma, even here at USC, and matter of fact, I'll even say this, even Pete Carroll's teams, they always play down to their competition. And that was like the one issue USC has had over the last, since Pete was here. is they would
Pete
go
Carroll's
play.
Team play down to their competition.
100%. I mean, remember,
Man, I don't know.
Hey, Oregon State, Fresno
Sure.
State.
Everybody's got one of those.
We got blown out by Stanford one year. Arizona State put up 21 points against the number one team after we beat Notre Dame in 2005. He went and played a terrible Arizona State team. They put 21 points. It was 21-0. So like teams have these issues, and specifically Lincoln Riley. So this could be a game where they could come. They have the opportunity to come out and prove the country, but so does Notre Dame. You know, a lot of people have say, well, Notre Dame is just simply Notre Dame. Listen, Notre Dame has a lot to prove as well. So, because USC could easily be in Notre Dame spot if a couple plays turn differently against Colorado and Arizona State and Arizona. So, I think both teams are coming into this game trying to prove something that they're worthy for a New Year's Six bowl, and specifically in USC spot, they're trying to win another national championship, and that really is the goal. That was the goal for this year. I don't know if it's going to. I don't know if we're there yet. It's the defense is the problem, guys.
That defense is not national championship worthy.
I was going to throw in a little.
Not even close. You guys are like 100 and something in
correct.
Defense.
Yeah.
That's
And the biggest issue of defense is if you watch the games, it's not that we're like, first down. It's we get to 3rd and 9, and then we give up a 40-yard play, and then that's. Yeah, it's these explosive plays that hurt.
You guys don't really tackle either, because I saw some highlights from Arizona. So.
20 or 40 missed tackles.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Like Notre Dame.
Could be it might be a really ugly game now that I'm thinking about it.
It could be.
I'm bummed
it really
out even
could.
more now.
It could be. I mean, yeah, it really could.
Like just sloppy, like low scoring, which is fine, but who knows? I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
So looking at USC's defense, you guys were mentioning how bad and how many.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yardage wise, they give up
421 yards.
Yeah.
And they're 80th in the NCAA football, giving up 27 points per game. So there's a give or take here, especially with Notre Dame the last 3 weeks. Basically, have put up 21, 17, and 14. Below the first 4 weeks, they put up over 40. So it's like, which Notre Dame team is going to show up, especially against a bad defense?
Well, we were playing high school teams then.
That is true. Yes, the competition did go.
Gerard Parker is proving exactly why I've been down on this cat for the whole ever since they mentioned him to be offensive coordinator. It makes zero sense. It's just a stupid move. I think they made handcuffed Freeman and made him look foolish, because it should have been his decision and his choice who he wanted. And you can't tell me for a single second that it had nothing to do with money. It had everything to do with money. Swarbrick, for some reason, Notre Dame got cheap, and I don't know why. And it's bullshit.
Well,
because we should have had Ludwig from Utah. That's who we wanted.
100%.
And I don't. And it's just I still have flashbacks from the preseason and spring ball when this was going down, and I was losing my mind then.
Yeah, well, to go back to the USC defense, the one thing I will tell you is, yes, on the stats wise, they're bad, right? But their defense, the players they have on their defense are very, very, very good, and that's why it doesn't make
going to have talent.
It doesn't make any sense. I will tell you, their defensive line is one of the best in the country, because if you look at some of the stats, they are number 1 in tackles for loss, the defensive line. They're number 3 when it's forcing pressure on the quarterback. So those things are to keep an eye on, because that's what Notre Dame has been having a problem on, is the running game and pressure on Sam Hartman. So if USC's defense could pressure Sam Hartman, force him to throw an interception, like, look, Sam Hartman had three interceptions last week.
Yep.
If you give Caleb Williams 3 interceptions, you're up 20. You're going to probably be down 21-0. So that's why it's very important to keep an eye on this game, because USC likes to have turnovers. They forced a turnover last week against Arizona, and boom, we put up points. So that's going to be key, is Sam Hartman protecting the ball. I think one thing I would love to see Notre Dame do if I'm playing against USC is start doing the play action, roll out, play action, drop it down to your back, drop it down to your tight end, get the first down, stop throwing the ball, 30, 40 yards down the field. I love that old, 2000, 2005 type of football where it's just play action, roll out. I think they're putting Sam Hartman in some tough positions. The offensive line has really got to figure themselves out. Notre Dame does. So yeah, it's gonna be really interesting what happens in the line of scrimmage, because USC does have a really good defensive line. I will say that. Their backs are not as good. Mason Cobb is a great. He's a transfer from Oklahoma State. He's a really good linebacker. And then we have a freshman linebacker. He was a 5-star athlete, but again, he gets personal foul penalties every game. I don't know what, he's a freshman. So there's some issues that are, are more of in the backfield is really where we're having our issues. But I would, when I'm going to be watching that game, it's going to be the line of scrimmage. I mean, can Joe Alt a couple games this year? And I talked to a Notre Dame guy that's a reporter for Notre Dame, and he said that game that Joe played last week, he probably lost millions of dollars in.
Easily.
Easily.
That guy he didn't give up sacks all this season.
All year.
I think from last year too. I know he maybe gave up, but it was a very low number. I could look it up, but
he's a
no
great
sacks
player.
given up this year, and they just went through that line like a sieve, and it was ridiculous. And I don't know why. And I really hate myself.
Him over.
Last week I said, "Oh, that's one of the best lines in the country," and then they play that game, and I was just like,
"Yeah."
I mean, the guy he was getting pancaked. He was getting run over. He literally put him on his ass. I mean, this is supposed to be a first-round All-American left tackle, and he's getting put on his ass by an average Louisville defense. Louisville is not that.
Oh no!
They beat us. They beat us handily, and I'm not. I mean, I'll definitely.
But Louisville is not a top fit. Louisville is not a top 15.
They're an average
program.
Team. They're like mid-tier. And echoing your statement, ND definitely plays down to who they're playing.
Yeah.
I've seen it since
since 1988.
Thank you. Exactly. No, it's true. It's madness. I can't take this anymore. This could be my last season of
here for this.
Hey, I'm tired. You got your titles, man. You got some, and you had a run, and you got your trophy last year. We would kill for any of that.
I know. Oh, I know.
Any of that. And it's like, it's really frustrating. And it's we're not deserving of this as far. I mean, I don't know. My thing is this: is get to it and do exactly what SC is doing and what Louisville did, and go and get some free agents and pay these fucking kids and let's win. Am I right? Or I'm serious, man.
Well, listen, my father is part of the Maxwell Football Club, and I talked to him about this. And he's part of selecting the Maxwell Award every year.
Wow.
And so we talk about this all the time. He also did some stuff with the Heisman, and Notre Dame has so much money, right?
Right.
They're a brand. They are a brand that if they wanted, they could just dominate. They could be Alabama tomorrow if they wanted to. But the issue is, for whatever reason, you got older guys there that just are so
the stupid hubris, this high horse bullshit.
I love Marcus Freeman.
I'm sick of it.
I love Marcus Freeman. I think he's a good coach, but he does not belong. I'm like, you guys may disagree with me, but he does not belong at Notre Dame. The guys that you should be considering for Notre Dame, and I shit you not, you should, and I believe they made a phone call. From what my understanding is, and you guys probably don't even know this, but they called Pete Carroll at Seattle when when Brian Kelly. Yes, but that was the right direction. Like, call the Pete Carroll.
You thinking older? Because Evan was saying something older, earlier,
just a guy
or Bob Stoops, or I think Urban. I don't want Urban Meyer anywhere near my program.
No, not Urban, but a guy that could come in and like Pete came in here and we were on a similar drought like what you guys are on. USC wasn't really good from the 80s all the way to late 80s, all the way to the early 2000s. And Pete came here and transformed the entire program to what it is now. You need a guy that can come in there, clean house, that has a great tracker. Pete Carroll, Dabo Sweeney. I mean, these are the names that Notre Dame should be picking up the phone and saying, "Hey, we're going big." Think about it, guys. When is the last time Notre Dame has really gone for a big hitter? Like, you've got Brian Kelly
debacle when they flew from South Bend to Utah to go court Urban, And then they came back on an empty flight because he went to Florida, because I think it boiled down to, he asked him straight up, can I recruit these players? And they're like, no. And that's when I'm getting sick of this Notre Dame. It's like, because they make it seem like every other kid that doesn't go to Notre Dame is a complete dumbass. And it's like, that's not true, man. There's a lot of smart kids out there, and there's a lot of kids that could go to Notre Dame, but they choose not to because of whatever bullshit that they're doing to keep I just wish they'd get off their high horse, because they are going to get left behind, especially by the way college football is changing and this realignment. And it's like the steroid era in baseball. If it was cheating because it was against the rules, but NIL isn't against the rules. So pay these, just go get them. Who cares? But we have this, it's like this whole hubris Notre Dame shit, man.
And unfortunately, like the like guys that so I think Notre Dame should go out and get guys that are just big name people, big name guys, and they should. That's they have the money to do it. They should have went after Lincoln Riley if they could have. Like they should be going after big game guys.
Honestly, I would not like Lincoln Riley as my coach.
Because
he's a good coach, but all he does is he coaches Heisman Trophy winners. The guy cannot win a big game if his life depended on it. He's never had a defense.
And that's why
Oklahoma too.
Yeah, it doesn't feel right here. You know how USC has had dominant defenses in the past. I mean, Clay Matthews, Brian Cushing. I mean, we were a defensive school, junior Seau. And our defense is no better than an FCS program right now. It just doesn't feel right, right? And which is sad is you guys may disagree with me here, but Caleb may go down as one of the greatest college quarterbacks of all time. And during his tenure here, he had one of the worst defenses of all time in school history, which is really sucks for him. It must be frustrating as hell for him. But going back to the coaching situation, I think that you had a stint with Charlie Weiss. You had that one successful season there. I think Brian Kelly. I think all I gotta say about Brian Kelly is look what's going on down at LSU. That's all you need to know. Locker room issues. They lost two. They were supposed to come into the season as a national championship contending team. And he just can't win the big games for his life.
He lost that, but then again, he did beat Bama last year.
He did. He did beat Bama. But I would say this: if Marcus Freeman loses this weekend, and then they lose against maybe Clemson. I think he should go. I think you guys deserve
after 2
way
years.
Better. It's about time. Yeah, it's about time. You guys got to go out and get the coach. Go get.
They're not going to though. For some reason, I don't know why Notre Dame got. I just don't get it, because again, going back to Ludwig. They had the guy. You can't have you can't have your head coach and offensive coordinator learning at Notre Dame in the same season. And it's fucking ridiculous. It's absolutely asinine.
I saw Al Golden's a great defense coordinator. I know Al. Al's a really good guy. Al's a great guy. That was a great hire, because Al is very, very good. He's got a lot of experience. He knows.
I got no complaints with the defense. I'm actually happier than I thought. They're obviously playing a lot better than I expected them to play.
For sure.
I mean, we were up by 3 points in the third quarter, or at some point. And then all of a sudden, just, I don't know, the offense can't do anything. That's been my whole thing the whole year is Gerard Parker.
That was rough. So do you think Caleb Williams is going to get the Heisman again, Hunter?
Well, he cannot lose more than one. I think he can lose one game and still win it. But if he loses more than two, it would be very, very, very difficult to do. I think they need to win this weekend, right? I think if they win this weekend, I think he separates himself from the pack even more than he is now.
There's another guy in your conference that is really, really exceptional. And he actually had better numbers than Caleb Williams last year.
He did.
Michael Penix Jr. So that kid is lights out.
And that's going to be another game this weekend. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah,
they come out here on November 4th against Washington versus USC here at home. in Los Angeles. So, so I will tell you this: things are changing at USC, and having Caleb as a Heisman Trophy winner really helped. This is the first time since Pete Carroll era that all of our games are sold out now here at home. If you guys recall, we weren't able to fill a stadium the last 10 years, and every it is sold out. At UCLA sold out, Washington sold out. So we're Utah is sold out. So it's like, Oregon's at Eugene, which is gonna be a really tough game, and I'll be at that game as well. But I'll tell you guys. So with Caleb winning the Heisman, I think if you asked me this, 6 or 7 years ago, I would probably say no because of the voters that are voting. But again, I'll bring up my father. I really talked to my dad about these types of things. The voters are changing, right? They're coming in. They're younger. They're more visionary. There was this whole stigma that no freshman should ever win the Heisman Trophy for the last 50 years, and then Johnny Manziel won, and then Lamar Jackson won. So I think the Heisman will be more open to giving a back-to-back winner again, if they're deserving. I would say right now Caleb is kind of here and everybody is here. And the reason I say that is, if Michael Penix is on USC and you're down, do you think they come back down from 17-0? I don't see that. I think Caleb's special. Caleb's special. He's able to carry a team on his back with a terrible defense. And if you really watch the game, look, Michael Penix had 0 touchdowns against Arizona the week before. Caleb Williams came in and had 4 rushing touchdowns, 4 rushing touchdowns and the passing touchdown. I mean, that it just shows you how that, he is a very, very special player. And he's continuing, that was a bad game last weekend. And what world are we saying a quarterback has a bad game having four touchdowns? That's usually an amazing game. You're on ESPN for that, but for Caleb, that's a bad game. And I think that's really where the difference is between Caleb and others.
Okay. We ready to do
So I don't know, though. I don't know. It's going to be very, very tough.
I don't even know who else. I mean, who else is up there? It's Penix, Bo Nix, Williams.
Yeah, the wide receiver from Missouri, Luther, I forget his name. He is really good. Potentially. What about Sam Hartman?
Maybe after week 4. But
I think. Oh, you know what it is? It's like we have Brian Van Gorder with Jalen. That's what this reminds me of. We have this amazing quarterback that we haven't had since Brady Quinn.
I know.
And we got where this bum Parker is fucking his career up, his season up, man.
I know.
It's so mad. It's madness, Hunter. It's madness.
I talked to Colin, who's a co-founder for College Football Dawgs, and we watched the NC State game, and everybody kept calling me, "Oh, you're just a Notre Dame hater." I saw there were some things in that NC State game that they were putting the offensive coordinator did not know what he was doing. I know they won. They were not putting
that to me the other day. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, the NC State game. Go watch the film. They were not putting Sam Hartman in the right positions for him to succeed, and that's a lack of experience from the offensive coordinator. And I think that's what really boils down to. You guys hit it right on the mark.
Yeah. It's frustrating, man. It's really they wasted another season just pissed away for no reason other than incompetence.
Yeah.
Incompetence.
Madness. It's just it's unacceptable anymore. And that's why I started watching F1 and boxing more, because these team sports. Fuck team sports. You
gotta watch Zibikowski box again, right?
Yeah.
That was my thing. As a kid growing up, because I'm Irish Catholic, I'm from the Philadelphia area. Where I grew up, there was Notre Dame flags on everybody's porch in the entire area, and there was only one house that had an SC flag on the porch, and I used to dress up as a Trojan and go and do the whole fight on the porch as a kid. But Zibikowski was my favorite football player back when I was a kid. Loved him at Notre Dame. Wanted to play like him. Man, that's the type of guys that Notre Dame needs, man. That was the day. Notre Dame.
Well, our recruiting is I'll check you on that one. Our recruiting is pretty good. I mean, we have talent.
Urlacher too.
They're just not being coached. They're just not being coached.
Yeah. Coaches aren't there for it. Yeah.
It's just that's I mean, we got some coaches, but
yeah.
I'll be harping on Parker too after we get off with you. So
Well, this was the most civil conversation I think we would have had. I did not expect this, but thank you. So there you go.
Of course.
I'm not gonna argue with him
I know, but I'm just saying.
No.
Now if we were undefeated or 6-1, like
you could be
then maybe it would be a little bit more, but I have zero confidence in this team this year. Like zero confidence. I don't know if any of you are Star Wars fans, but like
I am huge.
Zero confidence in Chancellor Valorum right now. So
well, who made Star Wars is George Lucas here. So
exactly.
He's a Trojan.
He is a Trojan. You're right.
Yes, he is. But hey man, I don't disagree with you because I'm coming to this game. This is the first year and last long time where I don't really know what the outcome of the game is. I mean, I could see USC winning 47-13, but I also could see it going down to like a 47-41 or a 50-60 type game. I don't know. Like this game is so hard to predict.
If it goes that route, it favors you. It favors you if we got a score like that. I don't want that kind of game because that favors SC.
So
the only way Notre Dame wins is if they can stop Caleb Williams. If they can't, I just don't think that the Notre Dame offense is capable of scoring 50 points, even with USC's bad defense. I just think that Caleb is going to be the key factor. The rain's going to be a key factor. If you're a Notre Dame fan and you're watching this game, you will know if Caleb starts. You'll know when Caleb is comfortable. Trust me. You watch the Arizona game, he starts throwing the ball over the people's heads, and it's not inaccurate. Then you guys got a football game. But if he starts zinging the ball in the middle of the field, and there's wide receivers open in the field, and they're doing RPOs, and RPOs are getting 5 to 10 yards per play, then it's going to be a bad game. So,
all right, let's go at it with scores. Dennis, you want to go first?
I haven't really thought about because
I just changed my literally big.
I have no idea, but God, a score. I'll take man, I don't know. I have zero confidence in this team. And I did pick in the preseason, I picked Notre Dame to win this game, but now I don't have any confidence in them. And all I'm thinking about is how Caleb Williams ran around last year on us. And it's just, I'd like to think that Freeman had it circled from after that game last year, and especially it's at home. But I think this team is I don't know if they're going to find themselves this game. SC is going to win. We'll say 35-24.
35-24.
Like last year.
I'll go next, and I'll let our guest be the final score. So
I think.
I'll go first. So what I have is Notre Dame winning 24-21. I have earlier this year, but 24-21. I think if the rain is going to be a factor, it's going to be a struggle for the offenses to score, and it's going to come down to the running games. And Notre Dame, to me, at least up until last week, had the better. So that's what I'm.
No, man, their last 3 games, their offense has been shit. Even against Duke, it was shit.
It was worse, but I mean, it was better than last week. Last week was just trash.
Yeah.
So Hunter, what do you have?
Yeah. So okay. 2 key factors in this game. One, your running game has not been good, and I think if you want me to be honest, I think Ohio State and USC have the 2 best defensive lines, and maybe Clemson, that you're going to face all season. USC's defensive line is a real deal. We could shit on their backs all we want. So I think they could stop the run. And another key factor is Riley Leonard was able to run around Notre Dame. Put Riley Leonard ×5 and Caleb Williams. I think that's going to be the key to the game. They haven't really faced a real dual threat quarterback this year. I'm going to take USC winning 52-21 in this game.
50 points in the ring. Wow.
Yeah. I think they have a lot to prove. Now, this game, let me just say this little disclaimer here. It's either going to be like a 52-21 game, or it's going to be a dog fight, awful game, 21-28.
Why can't Notre Dame blow them out? Because their defense sucks. I don't understand. Like, Notre Dame can blow them out, too. I mean, 421 yards per game. and you're 80th in points given up. You can't sit there and think that they're gonna if SC is gonna dominate Notre Dame. Meanwhile, we're just gonna hang if we barely win. Come on, man. You know that's not true. Lincoln Riley is a bum.
This is what I was waiting for.
I mean, you can't. You're being a spoiled children, like because that's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous, man. We can blow you out too.
Here's the issue about blowing out, though. So USC, like they could go down 21-0 to Notre Dame. They have the offense to go up 28, score 28 points in a half. You saw it against, or in a quarter. You saw it against Arizona.
Played, though, too. I mean, you haven't played. SC hasn't played anybody.
They haven't played anybody, but if you watch last year, their offense is the real deal. I mean, they played against.
I saw what very good. This is a game for Caleb Williams to win the Heisman and Lincoln Riley to prove that, again, he can coach Heisman Trophy winners. He can't. You very well could win this game, and you probably should win this game because, again, I have zero confidence. But to sit there, you're making the USC like their world beaters, and USC. No. I just think they're not scaring a thing.
No, they're not scaring a thing. But I think this is a game that they're going to come out and prove. I think there's a lot of noise about the defense. It's annoying the players. And look, you guys had really tough games early. USC has played dog shit teams the last 6 weeks. My biggest concern this season was getting through this first 6 games and just winning them. Because again, Lincoln plays down to his opponents. I think and this is just from when I talked to coaches at USC, this is what they said. This team has been circling this South Bend game for months. This is the game where they want to come out and shock the country. I'm more on, okay, so I understand what you're saying, but I'm relying on that, hey, the defense was waiting for this game. They were on rotation the last 6 weeks. I think Zachariah Branch is back in the game. It's a huge X factor to get him out into the space. And I think you got 2 defensive starters returning back onto the defense. I think USC is going to manhandle Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame specifically has played a really tough schedule. I think they're beat up. I mean, you can't deny that they played Louisville. They played at Duke. They played Ohio State. I think that's the circumstances around this. And then you're going to have a wet football game. Yeah. That's why I'm leaning. That's why I'm leaning. You know, it's either going to be USC's,
but that takes away your biggest weapon, though. Too. It's not. Oh, like, he can. Caleb Williams is great. But I mean, if it's going to be raining hard and stuff,
no. This dude
fumbles, bad snaps. There's things happen.
He doesn't fumble. He's never. I don't think he's ever fumbled the ball.
It sounds like we shouldn't even come out of the locker room. Maybe. I mean,
no.
Why don't you put yourself in the number one? I think it's crazy.
A bad match.
I'm glad you should be big for your school and everything.
No. I'm not. No. I think it's a bad. I don't necessarily think USC is better than Notre Dame or Notre Dame is better than USC. I just think it's a bad matchup.
I mean, right now, I would say that SC is better than Notre Dame.
I just think it's a bad match. It's a bad matchup. It's just a bad matchup. The matchup is not good for Notre Dame. I don't think that Notre Dame's offense is going to be able to hang around USC's offense. And I really think at the end of the day, Notre Dame relies on their running game, and USC has a very, very good defensive line. And like, that's just the key. If you look at the stats, they do. Where the yardage is coming from is little dump passes that are getting 40 or 50 yards down the field. They're passing game is terrible, but so is Notre Dame's passing game has not been very good either. So that's where I'm looking at the matches up. I look at the line of scrimmage. I'm looking at the wide receivers versus our cornerbacks. You guys don't have 4 or 5 star wide receivers. Your depth is not as deep as USC's. So I'm looking at the matchups. That's what I'm looking at when I'm making the prediction of this game. I could see it being very close, but I don't like the matchup. I didn't like the matchup at the beginning of the year. I think if USC could pressure Sam Hartman, you're looking at a scoring 50+ points against Notre Dame. I know your head's going to explode.
No, they can score 50 points, but I'm just saying sit there and think that if SC wins, they're going to blow us out. But if Notre Dame wins, it might just be by 1 point. Yeah, it could be. I mean, we can throw all these scenarios in there. Yeah. I can make excuses for Notre Dame and say, oh, they were looking ahead at SC. Maybe that's why they lost to Louisville. Yeah, but I'm not here. It's the game's got to be played, but to sit there and think that SC is this world beater,
I didn't say that.
You're not. Man,
we're not a world beater. Listen, man, we're not a world beater. I just think that we have the number one offense in the country, and I don't see the number one.
I mean,
I don't
obviously
see
statistically and stuff, but
we've never been blown out with Caleb Williams. Like it's Caleb Williams has never been blown out. Whether he was at
lost
Texas,
to Tulane, dude.
Yeah, I mean, but you guys lost to Marshall.
Yeah,
I mean,
but we didn't have Caleb Williams in the Heisman either. We had fucking the Lollipop Guild under center.
But let's be honest, though. Look, Tulane beat Kansas State. He was a Big 12 champion. They came in the game 11-2 into a Cotton Bowl. Tulane wasn't a bad team. Look, Tulane hanged around.
Team.
Tulane hanged around with Ole Miss. Let me tell you, Tulane would have beaten Ole Miss if they had Michael Pratt as their quarterback this year.
Right.
So we could shit on them about that.
But I'm not shitting on Tulane. I was shitting on the University of Southern California.
I thought it was spoiled children.
It's all of that. So
we are spoiled children. I mean, listen. Did you not see Will Ferrell coming into a frat house last weekend and was playing DJ for his son? We are spoiled children. We're spoiled. I mean, look where we live. I mean, this is the life out here. I mean, you all make fun of it. You guys make fun of us.
I had 2 job offers last year in California. I turned them both down. Trust me, I love it.
Everybody makes fun of that. We don't have an indoor field house. Oh, you guys suck. Your program doesn't even have an indoor practice field. Why?
You need an indoor practice field, right? That's really people give you shit about that.
Oh yeah. Oh,
that's kind of stupid.
Well, because it rained during pro day this year. It's very rare when it rains out here, and they had pro day out in the wet weather. And we didn't have anywhere to go.
Just push it off another day then.
Exactly.
I know. He does. Stu nods over there at USC. Yeah. But I love your podcast show, guys. I really do.
Thank you, Hunter, for doing the show, man. It was awesome.
For sure, man.
And I'll be thinking of you when Caleb runs all over us.
So here's what I'll do. If USC loses this game, I already put this on the show last night when we dropped.
Oh man, you don't have to wear any. We don't have to do it.
No. I'm not wearing anything. I am going to be dyeing my hair my beard orange and dressing up as a leprechaun, and I will dance to the Notre Dame fight song.
Wow!
Up here on the roof, I will do it. Yes.
Yeah, you don't have to do that, man.
I've been shitting on Notre Dame fans for months.
You should. That's the rivalry. You should. I'm trust me. I'm a Notre Dame fan, and I'm wiping my ass with this fucking flag. Because I'm so upset. This team is not. Yeah. There's no excuse for it. Honestly, if you could go back and watch our shows from earlier in the season and stuff.
Yeah. I'm curious to what do the football alumni that you've talked to, what do they think?
Well, they kind of homer up a little bit. It's like we try to get some of we'll have players on, and Lee Becton was he was good. He was on with us last week, and he was really good. But sometimes they give the homer answer, and it's like they get that like we're Notre Dame, we're never going to lose. This is and it's like, well, we got to get over this because we're just not doing it. It's been 30...
Can you blame them? They've been coached by Lou Holtz. I mean, can you blame them? You're going to talk about the biggest homer of all time.
Right. Well, he is. Yeah, definitely. And it's like when we had Tom Gatewood on, and Evan asked him a really good question about independence and stuff. And I've been a Notre Dame fan since forever, right? I'm 48 years old, or 47, soon to be 48. And I lost my train of thought now.
You said the independence with Tom Gatewood.
Oh, the independence. I've never wanted Notre Dame to join a conference. In the last 2 years, they have to join a
Big
conference.
10. You need to join a Big 10.
It's set up on a platter for them. And Tom was like, well, they're never going to join. And I wanted to keep pressing him, but I didn't. Because I was like, man, we got to join a conference, man. It's just.
So I was going to wait. I'm going to drop this on your show because I specifically was going to drop it on your show for that way for your viewers to know. I haven't done this on College Football Dogs yet. So you guys know I'm in LA. I have some sources at USC. I don't know if it's completely true, but there is a rumor that the athletic director at USC is going to basically tell Notre Dame to fuck off until and they're not going to schedule Notre Dame until they join a conference.
Good.
That'd be huge.
This week at the game. This week.
I hope he does.
That puts pressure on them.
They need to eat some humble pie, man. Because
I think the Big Ten. I think the Big Ten and USC are working to try to get Notre Dame to join the Big Ten.
It makes so much sense.
Yeah,
I mean, it would be the strongest
rival.
It'd be a better conference than the SEC.
Yeah. I mean, and it would make sense because the brand. I mean,
you already have everything.
Big Ten would be the best conference in the country.
Yeah, and for us, we always play in SC. We get Michigan, Michigan State, Purdue. You get a new rivalry going with Penn State, Ohio State. It's ignorant. And I can't.
Illinois.
You stay in the area. You stay in the area. Other than going to California, you stay in that area.
This whole ACC thing that we've had for the last, I hate it.
They're not. They're below. They're beneath. They're beneath the blue bloods. You know what I mean? Like the ACC schools. Like
they got one school that's floats like Florida State, but who knows how real they are this year?
They're not a blue blood school. Like Michigan's a blue blood. USC's a blue blood.
Yeah.
I mean, Ohio State's a blue blood.
Notre Dame, Bama.
Notre Dame is a blue blood.
Texas.
USC. Like you guys, that the Big Ten is the only conference to me that would make sense. And from what I'm hearing is, I think it's in USC's best interest to have Notre Dame come to the Big Ten and then be and so that way they can free up that that schedule, so that way they're not playing, like if you look at USC's schedule, they're playing LSU next year first game of the year is against LSU in Vegas, then they play Michigan, then they play Penn State, then they play Wisconsin. And then the year after we play Ole Miss, we play at Ole Miss, and then we play at Ohio State, and then we play Penn State again here.
Nice.
I mean, it's going to be ugly. So we want to free that schedule up so we can play, Shitbird University. So that way we're not getting destroyed every week, So it doesn't help the fact that Notre Dame's unwilling to go to a conference. So the only way it's going to work is if a longtime rival, USC, comes in and says, hey, we're not scheduling you until you join the conference. And that conference has to be Big Ten. So that's what I was, somebody messaged me first about it yesterday about it. So I did some texting around and there is some truth to it. So apparently.
Nice. I hope so. That would be nice, man. Do it. Yeah, because they got to join a conference. It's ridiculous.
And they don't want to discontinue the USC versus Notre Dame rivalry.
That's what I mean.
It's oldest one of the oldest rivalries of all time.
Yeah. And it usually mean, for years up until we haven't been relevant. I don't want to say relevant, but haven't been good.
Haven't been relevant. Come on.
Now we're relevant, man. Come on. If we're not relevant, then why was the Ohio State game the highest grossing college football game?
Evan, it wouldn't be right if I didn't drop this. 0-10 since 0-10 in BCS in year 6 games. You're 3-22 against top 10 teams.
I know all this, man. I know all this.
I love the
At
Irish.
least we didn't have to give back a Heisman Trophy either.
I know, Jay. Just throw out the OJ Simpson. We lost 2 Heismans. We lost OJ's and we lost Reggie's.
Oh, that's right.
I mean, well, I was gonna say something, but then I just realized Dave Dorson, so never mind. I'll keep all that to myself.
I love OJ. OJ's my favorite player, by the way. I love it.
Man, OJ, huh?
Oh, I love it. OJ is a god.
All right. Let's end this on a good term. So, Hunter, thank you for joining us.
Of course.
Mr. Dworsky of College Football Dawgs. You can see him on the College Football Game Day show Saturday mornings on their Facebook page. They're all over the place. So
and you'll be there.
I will be there this Saturday morning talking about
nice.
Dennis, obviously, my co-host. This is amazing to do this show.
Thanks, Hunter.
Thank you.
That was awesome, man.
Here. So again, thank you guys all for watching the We Are ND Nation podcast. Again, Evan J. Thomas, Hunter Dworsky, Dennis Stover. Check us all over the socials. And until next time, as I always say, go Irish.
Fight on.
Fight on. Go Irish and fuck the University of Spoiled Children. Thank you, Hunter.